All right, in three, two, one. My man, dude, EFNCY, the man himself, bro. It's good to have you, man. It's good to have you on the show.
It's good to be here, man.
Dude, I'm super excited. I know you've never done a podcast before, and I'm super hyped that you're able to, that your first time is with me, dude. It makes me feel so warm in the heart.
Be gentle, man. It's my first time.
Dude, speaking of EFNCY, by the way, let's talk about that name in general. So first and foremost, there are a lot of people out there that absolutely butcher
Yeah.
your name.
You're telling me, dude.
Often,
you're telling me.
Often you get so many wide varieties of the name pronunciation. Where did your name come from?
So EFNCY, bro, I'm a big nerd, right? I used to play RuneScape back in the day, right? Back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Running around Lumbridge, killing goblins.
Same,
you know,
bro. You know,
yes,
I was on a
sir.
RuneScape live, hardcore.
Yes, sir. So I was, hey, man, I was chilling in Lumbridge, you know, right outside the gates of the desert, you know, holding down my area, my block. And this dude walked up, and his name was EFFANCY, like, and then a bunch of numbers. And I was like, that word is cool as shit. I don't know what it means. I'm stealing that shit. Probably, I still don't know what it means. I have no idea what it means. I stole the word. I used that for a while. So my name is stolen. And then I decided to just drop a few letters off of it to make it easier to spell. And
so EFNCY was born right there.
Exactly, dude. Or offense or fucking efficiency, depending on who you talk to. Like, it's so bad. Literally, every single time I go into like someone's chat or something like that, or I talk to someone, I get a different name. It's insane.
It's so funny, man. I think it's so funny because I remember Bex introduced us. And Bex has actually introduced me to a lot of people. I gotta give a big shout out. That's a good dude. But he introduced us to each other, and I remember the first time you came in, I could specifically remember being like, "Oh, what's up, man? Hey, dude, because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to say anything. And then there was one time where I was actually playing Tarkov with Bex, and Bex was like, "Dude, you got to start playing with EFNCY." I was like, "Who?" And he was like, "EFNCY." He was in here yesterday. I was like, "Oh, efficiency." Because like that's actually. I was like, "Oh, that's but I didn't want to fuck it up." But so, anyways, EFNCY was born. And talking about Twitch and all that stuff, how long you been streaming for now? Because I know you're a full-time streamer, correct?
Yes, sir. So I recently became full-time about 7 months ago.
Nice.
And so I would say that like my streaming career, like I began streaming 7 months ago.
Okay.
Like I got affiliated. That's the right word, affiliated.
Yeah.
Like almost 3 years ago, but I never took it seriously.
Right.
Like I was just bullshitting.
Yeah, of course.
You know, having fun. I started streaming like 7 months ago.
Tight.
And like it's honestly, it was really disheartening starting at first because like I had built up a community beforehand with like people that like I would, you know, stream to. And then I take a break from my deployment and then they're all gone. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had to build my entire community from scratch.
Right. Dude, that's got to be a tough thing to do. I honestly not even just the having to rebuild the community thing, but dude, the deployments in general. Like, what are we talking about? So what branch are you in?
I'm in the Army National Guard for New Jersey.
Okay.
So some people get it confused. I'm not active duty, right? So I'm also not reserves. Like it's kind of similar.
Okay.
So the way the National Guard works, we're state funded.
Okay.
We're still in the military. We're still in the Army. But we respond to foreign and domestic. So like any like riots, hurricanes, like any national emergencies, we're part of that as well.
Tight. And how long have you been doing that for?
Almost 3 years now.
Really? So it kind of all started right around the same time, Twitch and damn. That's crazy. So how are things right now? Like I know with the world that the state that the world is in right now, man. What's going through your head? Has there been talks of, you know, you having to go anywhere else or what?
Yeah, so right now I'm actually on 8-hour notice. So like at any point in time they could just give me a call and be like, "Hey man, you gotta come handle this situation." Because all the stuff with like the riots going on and stuff like that and the protests. And like I'm not gonna lie to you, like it's kind of like of course like I'm I'm all about it. Like I signed up for this. I
Of
want
course,
to do
yeah,
right. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, it's like I'm really taking this Twitch shit seriously now.
yeah,
And if that would be a major setback, you know what I
of
mean? If I
course,
like
yeah.
had to go away for a month or something like
Yeah,
that.
especially, dude. First of all, you know what a lot of people don't realize about this job and this lifestyle is that if you're not here and you're not sitting at that computer, you're not sitting at that chair right now, you're not doing your job.
100%.
You're not doing your job, and every day away is one step back and two steps forward for somebody else who's getting better, who's
Exactly.
who's wanting to be there. And so I can imagine having dude, getting that call would be devastating. Like to me, like
100%.
if I was in the same if I was in that same boat, dude, that would be devastating. Like I feel shitty taking a Sunday off. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Like you know, those well needed mental break days. And so I can imagine that if that call does come through, dude, what's got to be running through your head? It cannot be good.
Dude, I mean, like honestly, I'm sitting over here like thinking like I might just like get some content ready and just do reruns or some shit. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what to do.
That might be that honestly that might be a good avenue for you to do in like your spare time, just in case. Like have like a full hard drive full of extra content to just have up, let everybody know what's happening, and whenever you get back, you get back. Because I mean, at least you're putting out something. You got to put out something.
That's the thing. Like people don't understand like how like fickle it is and like how like almost like petty some people on Twitch can be. Like if you're not here,
yeah, you move
gone.
on. Yeah,
yo,
they're gone.
badass. Like,
yeah,
bro, I've had some people that were around for like a year that like, bro, you haven't been here. I'm kicking rocks. I'm out.
Dude,
I'm out of here.
Crazy. And that happens so often.
Yeah, exactly.
It happens so often. And I put a lot of I put a lot of stock into that because I feel like Twitch is just so oversaturated that they don't nobody has to be loyal, right? Nobody has to be loyal to, and I don't think anybody should. I think you should spread out the viewership. I think you should explore new content creators and all that kind of stuff. I think that that's a great avenue for more content and a great way to experience different people, right? But also at the same time, if that happens to you, you're not in that mindset, right?
No, you're like, damn,
dude, what the
like,
fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? So I could definitely relate with that without question. What's kind of kept you still doing the Army?
So you in the Army, you sign contracts, right? So like you sign your life away for a certain amount of time. I signed what's called a 6x2, which is an 8-year contract. It's 6 years of like service and then 2 years of inactive status. So basically it's 6 years of drilling, which is, 2 to 3 to 4 days in a month, and then 2 to 3 weeks in the summer. Every year. And then it's it gets put to 2 years of inactive status, which is basically just, if we need you, we'll call you for something like going on, and that's it. And so like I'm past the halfway point in my career in the military. I think I'm gonna get out.
Really?
I love what I do, and like it's definitely helped shape who I am as a person and stuff like that. But like where I'm at in life right now, like it's almost holding me back. You know what I mean? Like I want to pursue this, and it's kind of in the way of this.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard once you get that, once you find that true passion, like that true love, to do really anything other than that, and to not put 100% of everything you have into that true passion. So
exactly.
And that's the thing, man. Passions change. Like going into, I can imagine going into the military. Were you the guy that was like, this is exactly what I want to do, or was it
like I was so like hyped up, like I was ready to go.
Yeah.
The thing is, like in the National Guard, there's like this mindset that like, because like some people don't take it as seriously because it's not active duty Army, and so like it hammers on you. You know what I mean? Like when you're surrounded by people that aren't like on that same level as you, like whether it's like motivational wise or like they share the same kind of aspirations, it'll drain on you, man.
Right.
It definitely did for me.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Like when I first went into the military, like I was super about it. Like I was like, oh yeah, I want to go airborne, I want to go ranger, I want to do all this cool shit.
You want to do all the cool shit, yeah.
Exactly. I was ready. I was about it. And then like, they offered me an airborne contract. It gets cut because I'm state funded and they didn't have the money. But like if I was active, they would have sent me. And then I go back home and like I'm like, oh, I want to go to airborne. They're like, yeah, it doesn't happen here. It's like, bro, like I'm trying to be like
the dude.
soldier. Like, come
Yeah,
on, bro.
yeah.
Like, help me out here. And they're
Yeah.
like, nah, we can't do that. Sorry. And it's like, okay, well, there goes my motivation. You know?
Yeah, I bet that crush anybody that has these dreams, and everyone's like, nah, man, fuck off. Sorry. Like, dude.
Not happening.
Yeah. Damn, that sucks, dude. Now, growing up, did you have that same mindset of wanting to go into the military?
So no, actually, I wasn't like super about the military. I wasn't like, you know, I got in trouble a lot as a kid. Like I didn't like cops, like stuff like that.
Right.
And like, I kind of was put in a position where it was like, all right, join the military or go down like the wrong path. You know what I mean? It was kind of like I'm in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And so it was an alternative that I saw, and it got me out of that lifestyle, and I'm forever grateful for that because like I wasn't in the best place.
Yeah.
And so like, no, I wasn't passionate about it, but like it needed to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It needed to happen.
Yeah, and you know that's the case for a lot of guys too. You know, I feel like there's a lot of people that are going down that same path right now that, you know, may or may not be listening, but you know, the military is such a great way to mold, you know, young kids, right? Or
100%.
younger people. Because I know I talk with my dad about it all the time. Because so both of my parents are military, and my dad was in for 26 years.
Damn.
And
Okay.
or 24, 26. Anyways, I think he retired E8, and I remember asking him here recently, actually, where I was like, man, like, did you regret doing the military? And because, you know, I hear a lot of people, like everybody that I talk with that's in the military right now that's active, a lot of them are like, fuck, man, I cannot wait to get out.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get out, right? And so I brought that to my pop, and he was like, dude, I will forever be grateful for the military, and like for the experiences, the places they took me. He was in a tanking division in Germany for a long time, and so he ended up being over there for like 5-6 years, something like that. I can't even remember at this point. But anyways, yeah, you know, he's like, man, I was in a shitty spot when I was 18. It was either, you know, become some like drug dealer, kind of be like an asshole or just a bum on the street, or join up. And I joined up, and he was like, it changed my life, and it saved his life at the end of it. He ended up having a pop needed a liver transplant. He had cirrhosis of the liver, and without that military health insurance, my man would not be here right now. No doubt about it.
God bless, he got it, man.
Dude,
God bless.
It's crazy. It's actually really crazy to think about that. Like all this time down the road. So yeah, man, there definitely are a bunch of benefits, but I know sometimes it can be shitty, and especially in a situation like yours where you're really ready to, you know, take the next step and really go super hard in this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, like, when you find your passion, it's hard to like do anything but. Like, you just fucking, you know, you slam your gas pedal and you go straight forward into it, you know?
Right.
I will say that, like, in regards to like the military and like all the active dudes saying they want to get out, I think it has a lot to do with like the people they're around. And like,
really?
I'm a big believer in like the people you surround yourself with.
Right.
Are, like,
yeah.
It's the same kind of mentality that you're gonna have. You know what I mean?
For sure.
There's so many different like, you know, like different cliques in the military. Believe it or not, like there's like, you know, people that want to get out. There's people that are trying to be super, you know, motivated and hua, and like they want to do all this shit.
Right.
And then there's everywhere in between. You know what I mean? So it's all about like, whether you're military or not, like I think it's about just like finding the right people to be around, you know?
And I'm definitely with you on that. I guess I never really thought about that would translate into the military as well, because you know, growing up, everybody, like your parents, your teachers, all that kind of stuff, they would always be like, you know, be careful with who you surround yourself with, or
For sure.
surround yourself with the people that are going to like lift you up and bring you up and make you better, as opposed to like bring you down. So yeah, man, damn, I never thought about that, because that makes a ton of sense. There's no reason that there wouldn't be all these higher ups if they didn't like it, right? Like if they and so yeah, you know, I talked yesterday with Original Human. He was a British Royal Commando.
Oh shit!
And he was in there for 4 years. He joined up at 16, and he told me, you know, that he was going through like a lot of bullying coming in because he was a younger guy and a new troop, and you know, him getting bullied really kind of forced him out, but it also made him who he was. So You know, that does make sense with who you surround yourself with. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
God, that's I never translated that because you know you hear about that all the time, and damn, I never thought about that at all. What were you doing before the military and before streaming? You said you were going down a bad path.
Yeah, so I mean, like, so before the military, I joined the military straight out of high school, and so I was, you know, skipping school, you know, selling weed, like being like a fucking degenerate. You know what I mean? Like, just like,
Yeah.
I wasn't going anywhere really fast. You know what I mean? Like, I was hanging out with the wrong people. They were fucking popping pills and shit like that. Most of these guys are now doing heroin and shit like that. So like, it's like,
dude, they graduated. They graduated to the hard shit, huh?
Yeah, yeah, and it's unfortunate. Like, it hurts my heart to see like people that I grew up with like on fucking hard drugs.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean?
Yeah,
it
for
sucks.
sure. It really does.
But I mean, so like, the military has been like part of my entire adult life because I'm 22, so like I've only been an adult for a short amount of time. But you know, I've lived on my own. In between, I've worked, you know, 3 jobs. So like, I've had like a lot of life experience.
Yeah.
In the short amount of time that I've been an adult.
Yeah.
And so I've done a lot of different things. So like, straight out of high school, I joined the military. When I got back, I started working in food service because it was quick money. So
yeah, it is quick money. Yeah,
it's quick, man. I was a waiter at 2 different diners, had 2 jobs. And then a buddy of mine, you know, was like, "Hey man, you should come work for me with my boss. Like, we do a lot of construction work." So I started doing construction work.
Yeah,
it's good money there. Like, anything to get a quick buck. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I went into like factory work and manufacture. Yeah, dude, I've worn a lot of hats in the short amount of time that
for sure.
I'm always trying to like improve. I'm always trying to go out. Like, every time I've left and went to a new job, I'm getting like, you know, increasingly more money per hour, right? Like, that's like my plan. And so like, bro, there was a point where I was streaming and working 2 jobs and like had like 4 hours of sleep at night.
Dude, yeah, what a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, like, but what I will say is that it like, there was a point in time where I like had just gotten off work, I'd done a 12-hour shift at the factory. Shit sucked. I got home. No, I didn't even get home. I was sitting in the parking lot outside of the fucking factory in my fucking 2001 Chevy Malibu, right? I sat there, I turned my music on. On the aux, and I was like, I'm fucking done doing this, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I need to find something else, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is not for me. Like, there's people out there, they're built for it.
There are, man. There are those people.
Not me, man.
So what was that the turning point to really take it into Twitch? Like, or like, how did the whole Twitch streaming become a thing for you?
So I started streaming a little bit before then, with the game Escape from Tarkov.
Damn, you've been playing it for that long?
I've been playing since July 2017.
You know what's crazy is everybody that I talk with that plays Tarkov has been playing Tarkov for like 5 years.
Yeah, dude, bro, it's been around for a while.
And it's so insane because within the past 6 months, I've just now found out about it.
Yeah,
that's insane.
So I'll bring something up in a second. I'm gonna finish my thought and then we'll go down that path because there's an interesting conversation to be had there.
Come.
Okay. So I started with Escape from Tarkov. I wrote a guide on Reddit that got a lot of success or whatever.
Oh wow.
I was looking for like any way to like boost the stream, right?
Okay.
Like, you know, we're always looking for a new way to like get some more people into the stream. And so I wrote like a successful guide. Like, you can Google like Tarkov solo tips. I'm the first one. Like, it's the first guide.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it drove a lot of traffic to the channel and stuff like that. And so I was like, oh shit, like I could stream. Like, this is cool. I'm gonna stream to more people. And I wasn't like taking it seriously in the sense of like, okay, this is gonna be my job. I was more like, oh, like I could build a following. You know what I mean? Like, in the same way that you would have like a YouTube channel and like do some stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's where I got started. And I built out like a follower base. Like, I think I had like 1,000 followers or something like that, which was super cool.
Of course.
Yeah, man. And then I, you know, I was playing, working. I was never taking it seriously in the sense of like, I need to make money off of this. I need to do this. I wasn't like taking social seriously or anything like that. I was just playing games, streaming them, and having fun with my friends.
Right.
And so like when I had that turning point, I was already told that I was going to be deployed. Like, I'm deploying to Jordan for 9 months.
Jesus.
Yeah, like thankfully, all things considered, it was an amazing deployment. It taught me a lot about myself. It wasn't like it wasn't like a combat deployment. Like we weren't like getting shot at and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like it would be
Thank
considered like a
God.
vacation considered to some of these other deployments that people got
Right.
go on.
Yeah.
But like, so I had already been told all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what, like, I'm gonna have a really good opportunity after this deployment. I'm gonna have money in savings. Like, I should do this. You know what I mean? Like, I should really get it. And so like, ever since that point where I was in that car in that parking lot, I was like, all right, I'm making a plan. Like, I'm gonna get this done.
Right.
I think like success is like 50% planning, 40% skill, and 10% luck. Like some people have said it better, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like that's how I feel about it. Like for real.
I'm definitely on board with that a little bit because there is like no matter what anybody says, okay, and this is where opinions will definitely vary, but I truly believe that luck will always have some form of play in anybody's plan.
100%.
Can you get a little bit lucky?
Yeah, can you get a break, please?
Yeah, one break, man. That's all you need.
For sure. But the conversation about Escape from Tarkov, right? So it's funny that you mentioned that you just now recently heard of it, like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
The thing about Tarkov is that it was like a super tight, like really small group of people all making, content and streaming and stuff like that. Yeah. And it was like a relatively small game. I think it was like a 10,000 view like game, like category.
Okay.
And so, it was like that for like a year and a half, 2 years. And then there was the Twitch Drops event.
Dude.
That exploded the game.
That's when I first came about it.
It exploded the game. It went on front page.
Yeah.
It was all over front page for like a week. And it trickled down into like the streams. So like a lot of my friends that like, because I was deployed while the whole Twitch Drops thing happened.
No.
Like a lot of my bro, I was so upset.
Dude.
Bro, such a missed opportunity.
Oh my God, that's gotta haunt you sometimes, man.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely in the back of my head, but like honestly, all it does is it lets me know that like, it almost like humbled me. It was kind of like, yeah, you were put in a position where like you couldn't take advantage of that, but like that doesn't mean you're not gonna get it. Like you just got to be hungrier. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like all of my friends that like like I would play with that were like around the same size as me, they exploded,
took off.
Like exactly, and I'm happy as fuck with them. Like
of course,
it's dope. You know what I mean? And like so it's funny that like you say like everyone's like a veteran because like it really did almost come out of nowhere. Like it's been around for a while and then it just exploded.
It was so crazy because I the only person I knew that played Tarkov was Batty at that time. That's the only guy I knew. I didn't know him from watching games. I didn't know him from watching streaming. I met him out at a bar, super random. Again, Bex brought him up. Him and I talked. I met him at a couple of other events. Anyways, ended up popping in. And literally, like, my first message to Batty was, what is this game? Like, I have never seen anybody play this game. And then I want to say, like, I don't know, maybe like a year later, or maybe not even a year, that Twitch Drops thing came out. And I remember popping into his channel being like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy, like, dude, you got like 20,000 viewers right now.
Yeah,
like, what are we talking about?
100 viewers to like front page.
It was crazy.
Like,
it was insane because I know anytime that an opportunity like that shows up, you have to maximize. So like 100%. Obviously you weren't there for that, and you've learned that lesson, and things have made you hungrier, right? But dude, when you have that opportunity, every waking second has to be
24-hour stream
every single day. Because I remember at that time I didn't really know a whole lot about it. I mean, I knew some things about the drops, but it was so foreign to me because I'd never been in any situation like that. But I remember Batty, and this is the only example I have of it, is I remember Batty streaming for like 36 hours, taking like a 4-hour nap, and then getting back on every single day. And I was like, Jesus, how are you?
Look at his numbers right now.
I know. I was like, Jesus, how are you doing this? And then like now all of that, those sleepless nights, not enough sleep, all the G Fuel that he was cranking out at that time, just snorting lines of G Fuel. Now look at it. Like so there should be such an importance on making the best of every moment, especially moments like those.
Yeah, 100%. I would say like there's nothing wrong with doing long streams,
Right.
but I would say like if you're not in a position where like you have a bunch of like exposure like that, I would almost say that like 36-hour streams might be detrimental to you.
Dude, that to me is insane. I think 24-hour streams are insane. I've done one in my life, and it was awful. It was, dude, it was awful.
Why do you say that?
Because I remember, first and foremost, this was around a time where there was not a lot of games that were like really quote popping. So to put it in perspective, a really hype game at that time was Radical Heights. Do you remember Radical Heights?
That game was cheeks.
Dude,
that shit was buns.
Radical Heights was like the fun thing at that time. And that game sucked, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
And I remember specifically feeling like I didn't know which game to play. So I felt like I was kind of like bouncing around too much. And it made 6 hours seem like 12.
Right.
And so on and so on. And I specifically remember around like hour 20, 22, I closed my eyes for, in reality, like 30 seconds. And I woke up in a panic because I was like, did I just sleep for like 2 hours? Like, how long did I just sleep for? Because I'm one of those guys. Dude, I have to get, if I get 7 hours, I'm probably a little upset of sleep.
Right.
If I get 8 hours, I'm good. 9, anything plus that, I'm good. I am not the dude that gets super hype about 4 hours of sleep. And what's weird as fuck is all you military dudes are all about it. Like, bro, I need 4 and I'm good. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, that's insane to me.
Yeah, man, you get conditioned like that. You know
Yeah,
I mean?
you do, and it's
position.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I can't imagine somebody screaming at me with 4 hours of sleep about, yo, I'm out. I'm good, bro.
All right, man, listen.
I'm out.
Rub it in. Cut it out.
But yeah, I'm definitely on board, especially now, you know, I'm by no means, and I've talked about this a couple of times, by no means am I any health expert, nor do I claim to be like a super healthy person. But, you know, I try and eat right. I still drink alcohol, but, you know, I try and exercise as best I can. I try and take an hour plus every day, do some kind of exercise, and eat well. And I know that going into a 24-hour stream and just sitting there hammering bangs and eating pizza and being a shithead, you know, is definitely not good for your body. So yeah, I'm on board with that. Can definitely be detrimental.
Yeah, for sure. I was more talking about like 100% that's just unhealthy, right? Like you don't got to be a fucking geologist to know that shit is not good, right? Like, come on, bro, that's not good. I just mean like, so like, I think everyone has a certain point, like when they've been streaming for a certain amount of time, like hour-wise, like your content starts to sort of like suffer. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so like I feel like you'd be better off like resting or like working on your socials or like networking or doing anything else.
Right.
Rest up, come back, hit them hard again. Someone like important to me told me that, and I was like, I had never been about that. I was the kind of guy, I'll stream 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 hours. Yeah. Because like the longer streams get more people's attention. Right. But they're not going to stick around because it's sort of like a gimmick. And so, you know, someone was like close to me was like, hey, like maybe you should like consider resting up, do a shorter stream. And like it's working. You know what I mean? Like I love my content now as opposed to like 20 where like I'm fucking tired or frustrated or something like that. You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing too is, you know, on those longer streams, the little shit starts to pile up. And so like you start to rage a little bit more at shit that you normally wouldn't have if it was like a normal or way earlier in the stream. So I definitely can understand that. And you know, you make a great point too, talking about taking those breaks and doing shorter streams, because there is so much more to this outside of just streaming that has to be taken care of. You know, when you talk about networking and building up a social and all that stuff, dude, that's a whole nother job in itself.
100%.
Like,
you were talking about Bex earlier. Bex is the one that told me, he was like, listen, man, like socials are your job now.
Right. Yeah.
And like that's true. Like
Yeah.
that shit is true.
It is, dude. Bex is a wise man for being
Yeah.
for his little experience in actually streaming, but his outside market of actually like marketing yourself is his
Yeah.
knowledge there is through the roof. I mean,
100%.
he was one that, and I had been thinking about it for a little bit, but I didn't really want to commit because I was streaming twice a day every day for 6 days a week. So I would do a noon to like 3 or 4, and then I would take a break and I would go 7 till midnight, 1 a.m.
Right.
And I noticed I was starting to notice, especially recently with everybody going back to work finally, thank God, was that my morning streams were kind of slow, and it wasn't really doing a whole lot for me. Like, I was still tired, my content wasn't really there. The people weren't really there because people are back at work or whatever it may be. But then come night stream, around the time that I normally start my streams, everyone's off work, everyone's back at home, they're chilling, they've had dinner or they're eating dinner. Right, everybody's there ready to party. And like I said, I'd been thinking about it for a little bit, but I didn't want to pull the trigger. And talking with Bex suggested like, hey man, just cut out the morning stream, focus on doing podcasts, your socials, and YouTube, and then do your night stream with everybody else. Because he's like, everyone's there at night stream. Like the whole regular community is there every night stream, and I'm super fucking thankful for it. But that to me, that hit me, and I was like, you know what? Let me give this a try. And so I did it. I started doing it 2 weeks ago, last week, whatever it is, and I've noticed that makes me happier, in a sense of if I did a morning stream and not everybody was there, it kind of almost bummed you out for like a little bit of the day, right? Because you're like, damn man, like, well, where's all the homies? Like, it's literally like you show up to a party that you throw and no one's there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then at the night stream, that's the party that everybody knows about, and everyone shows up, and it's super. And then new people show up. Like I love it. Like that's what like gets me hyped. Like that's the stuff that gets me going. So yeah, man, there's definitely an importance in finding the schedule that works for you, and making it a right amount of time to give you the mental breaks that you need, as well as gives you enough time to work on the things outside of streaming.
Right, that all contribute to the stream.
Right. It's such a difficult thing too.
Yeah. Like on that same note, like we're talking about like Bex, and I mean more in a general sense here. Like it's great to have people in your corner that are like providing that insight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have made some of the decisions that I've made without like other people like looking in on the situation and saying like, hey man, I think you could do this differently.
Yeah.
And so I try to like encourage that so much. Like some streamers and some content creators are super like, no, like I've made all the decisions. Like I know what I'm doing. Like I'm getting it. You know what I mean? And like they could be like super stubborn or hard-headed about certain shit. And it's like, I understand, because like at some point, like you're right? Like you're the one that's doing this. Like your decisions have obviously made an impact, and you're doing your thing, right?
Yeah.
But like, I've like started to open my mind more, and I'm like, like maybe this person, like, even if I don't want to directly implement it, I'll try it out, see if I like it. I'll shelf it. You know what I mean? Like, even if it doesn't work. Yeah. So like I've just been, like trying to like be more open to ideas and stuff like that from people that are close to me.
That's a super important thing that I think a lot of people should take away from that is, you're not always right. And
for sure.
There's been things that I've dreaded doing. There's been things that I just absolutely never wanted to do, and either somebody pushed me in the right direction or said, hey man, just try it. What's the worst that can happen? It's gonna suck. Whatever. It's funny if it sucks. And the things that I've always been like, nah, I don't want to do, have almost always turned into, holy shit, I'm so glad I did that. Like I'm so glad I listened, because and that is another thing too, is being able to put the ego aside and really take advice from other people, because it can be hard sometimes, especially if there's somebody that maybe might have offered you a piece of advice that didn't go that well, and then comes back and it's like, hey, well, why don't you try this? But you're kind of in that mindset of, well, the last thing that you did fucking sucked. The last thing that I tried that you said fucking sucks. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, man. For sure.
It's wild. Are you putting out, speaking of outside of streaming, are you putting out YouTube videos and stuff like that?
So I'm like really like inconsistent on YouTube.
Right.
For a while there, I was posting like daily like stream highlights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I like personally, I feel like stream highlights, at least for me, aren't like enough.
In
Like,
what
I feel
way?
like I'm just like spamming my YouTube with like just clips of like me killing people, and it's like that's cool and all,
Yeah.
but like I want my brand to be about quality, right?
Right.
Like this shit all around me, this isn't good. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I feel
I
you.
need to have, you know what I mean? Like I need to have like I want it to be quality.
I feel
And so
you.
like I want my YouTube to represent that. I want my Twitter to represent that. My Instagram.
Right.
Like I want to get on TikTok, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want it to represent quality because like when you go into someone's stream and they have like clothes right here, you know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna rag on myself real quick. Like I look like I'm in a fucking closet, right? But
Hey,
like,
dude, I've been there, bro. I have
you know what I mean?
I streamed in the
Yeah.
closet for like 8 months, bro.
Yeah,
I
bro,
know
for real.
exactly what you're talking about.
And so like it's just about like taking yourself seriously, and just like I want everything to be refined.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be lazy with anything that I do because it's gonna reflect onto me. I'm gonna look lazy, and then people will be less likely to stick around and
Yeah.
watch. At least that's how I feel. I hold myself to the highest standard, bro. I don't know why.
And that's an incredible quality to have because I thought that way, and I still think that way about everything that I do as well.
Right.
But somebody told me here recently, and it sucks that this is the way that the world is, but it truly is. It's the way of the world is that people don't care about quality. They care about quantity.
Yeah, consistency too.
Just shove shit in my face. I want people want 2020, even not even 2020. Just in the last 10 years alone, it has just been consume content, just content. It doesn't matter what it is. I just want to see it out there, put it out there, whatever. And that sucks. That was a big reason why I never really got into putting out a whole lot of YouTube videos. If I did, they were few and far between because I paid for them out of my pocket, obviously. I paid for the YouTube videos that I wanted to have up. I reviewed all of them. But, when you go to pay for YouTube videos are not fucking cheap, okay?
Yeah. You're not going to see that much of a return from it starting out.
Especially starting out. I would say under, 50,000 subs on YouTube, you're probably not seeing much. And I could be wrong because I don't have 50,000, but I could be wrong in saying that. And if somebody has something to say for that, please let me know. I'd be super interested. But yeah, if I wanted to put out a video a week for a month, each video would cost me $50. Now, in reality, $50 is not that bad for a video, right? That seems pretty fair. That seems
a pretty good editor rate,
pretty
right?
realistic, right? But $200 a month when you're
expensive.
When you're streaming in a closet is a fucking lot, okay?
For sure.
Is a fucking ton. So and so that leaves you with okay, well then I need to edit my own videos. And whenever I first started out editing my own videos, dude, they sucked. They still suck. To this day, they still suck. And I would spend so much time on these videos. I would spend like 8 hours on a 4-minute video that sucked. Okay.
Yeah.
And but that's just a part of it. That's just a part of getting over that hump and really showing the work ethic, because obviously you're gonna get better. But yeah, I realized really early on that things might not be to your highest standards, or to other people's higher standards. Let me rephrase that. Your content might not be to other people's highest standards, but if your content and what you put out is to your highest standard, do it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Do it, and that'll reflect and that'll translate in the future as your content continues to get better and better.
Yeah, and there's taking a certain amount of pride in what you do.
Right.
Like you said, I've fucked around with some editing software. Holy shit, dude, I am buns.
It's a nightmare.
I am so bad at that shit.
Dude,
yeah, for sure. Especially if you go through some of these free things. I've used this DaVinci Resolve thing, and that shit is so hard to use in my opinion.
Bro, that's what I'm using right now, and it's like working with hieroglyphics.
Literally, dude.
Yeah, it's
everything's hidden behind menus and shit. But, bro, I have no idea what I'm doing. But you're right. Spending 8 hours on a 4-minute video is That's part of the process.
It
'Cause,
is.
like, that's what I used to do for like some of these stream highlights.
Yeah.
And like, you're totally right. Like, I need to get more consistent with it because people are so like, give me more, give me more.
Right.
They just want to see more content.
Yeah.
I think there comes a point though where like you might be better off like instead of like posting like 7 times a day on your YouTube channel, right? You might be better off like exploring like another avenue that like would give you like better returns, I guess is the way to put it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I have to find that kind of what I mean, like where that threshold is.
You're still searching for that avenue.
Exactly.
I definitely can understand that. And consistency is the biggest thing with anything. With anything. I mean, look at your Twitch streams. The more consistent you got, the more people showed up, the more people hung out. And that translates all the way across the board with social media, other platforms like YouTube. I was gonna say Mixer, but LOL. And feels super bad for those people. But yeah, in finding that consistency, it doesn't have to be every day, right? It doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't have to be every other day. You can set it to where it makes sense for your schedule and your life. But as long as it stays on that, more people will gravitate to it. Which
because they're gonna think, oh, it's 5 p.m. on Thursday,
right?
Like, I gotta go there.
Here it is, right? And that's one thing. I just recently had a meeting with a bunch of people, anyways, and it was they were asking me these same questions that I'm asking you. What's your schedule like? What are you doing to like? How often are you posting on YouTube, Instagram? So like all your social medias. And, I kind of gave him the rundown because I wasn't posting a whole lot across the board. I would post here and there. But my biggest thing is I was in that same boat where I never wanted to be the, holy shit, like this guy is blowing at my timeline up. Like, because I hate that. I hate that. And they really broke it down. They're like, listen, man, that's what the consumer wants and needs. And I'm like, dude, am I just like a different breed of human where I fucking hate that? Like, I hate that. Man. Like, I absolutely hate that. And they were like, listen, man, the more that you grow outside of Twitch, the more the growth will translate to your Twitch and to what you want to do every day. So, I kind of took that a little bit to heart. I know that people have been harping on me for a long time about doing that, but it was just one of those things that it really it takes somebody else outside of your group, outside of your community, to be like, hey man, what the fuck are you doing?
It's your reality check. Yeah,
do the same thing that everybody's been telling you to do, but it just comes from a different mouth,
Right.
And so yeah, I took that to heart, and I've been trying to post as many YouTube videos as I can, but mainly they've been all podcasts because I love doing this shit. I love hearing from guys like you. And seeing kind of where they come from, where their background is, and where they're at right now, which is super rad. But there was one thing that you touched on that I did want to talk about that sparked something. Was your Reddit? Was your solo tips on Reddit? Do you still keep up with that or no?
So no, I haven't touched Reddit since then, really.
Really?
But I do think that so I say this to say, I think like you said, you need to have things outside of Twitch to grow your Twitch. Yeah. Like you can't just grow on Twitch.
Right. It's not possible. It's not possible.
You need to get a fucking 99.99% stroke of luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like an impossible odd.
100%.
To make it on Twitch by yourself, in my opinion.
Right.
You need to do everything else. And so like I feel like I'm almost shooting myself in the foot by not going on Reddit. And like using it more, especially because I kind of have like that, I want to say status, but like, like that, like, that post.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like Twitter or Instagram is probably more worth my time than something like Reddit. You know what I mean? Because like the numbers don't lie, man. Twitter and Instagram are the fucking king of social media.
They are.
You know what I mean?
They are. But on the flip side of that coin, here recently, I had a conversation with a guy who lives on Reddit. He's actually the guy who made these overlays for me, and everything that's cool in my channel, he's fucking made. Okay.
Oh yeah.
He grew up on the Reddit scene, and he explained something to me here recently about Reddit and about the way that things work with this, and he had the complete opposite as to what you're saying. So because I am in that boat. I am in my Instagram, my Twitter. You know, I feel like there's a way wider reach, right? But
Right.
with the Reddit scene, it's a more concentrated, wider reach. So, you know, if you've got, dude, if you got a post, and again, I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen it. I am by no means any expert, but dude, if you have a post on Reddit that's popping, dude, hammer it. Hammer that shit. Post clips, post more tips, anything. Like take an extra hour and type, you know, a new blog about whatever new kind of tips you can add in, especially with the new update they just had to customs and all the
new people coming in and shit.
Yeah, dude, if I truly wish that I had right now a Reddit account that was, you know, not even well known, but had the name recognition to be able to post in other Reddits and other subreddits and all that stuff. Because, dude, think about how many people, and granted, again, there are the two sides of the coin, right? Think about how many people blow up on Twitter because of like a Twitter clip, or like, because really all it takes is that one person to retweet it, right?
It's that luck. It's that luck.
Again, it just takes that one person to retweet like a really funny clip. And but on Reddit, it seems, and again, I don't know a whole lot about it, just from talking with Dietrich and him telling me everything. It seems like, dude, Reddit, you reach way more in a sense of people are talking about it on their streams. Well, I saw this Reddit thread, or, you know, that thing gets upvoted, and it gets upvoted enough to where it's like starting to trend, and then it's hot, and then it's on the front page of all of Reddit. Like, so it's not just, I understand that Twitter is like, again, because I'm in that same boat, I think that Twitter is the way of the world.
Right.
It might just be because I'm naive or dumb or whatever, but you know, dude, if you've got that already established, I think you should fucking hammer it, man. I think that should be something that you spend a little bit more time on, and who knows, you know, maybe dive into it for a month, and if it sucks and no one's coming back at it, fuck it. You know, if you're having more success on Twitter, just hammer the Twitter, then hammer your Instagram, whatever it may be.
I mean, like I said, like I'm never opposed to like new ideas.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely like some truth to what you're saying. I think that's like actually something I should pursue. Worst case scenario, I try it out for a month,
and
like
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. That's the worst case. You know what I mean? Like, oh well.
Absolutely, and man, you never know, and that's the craziest thing about all this is you just never know, right?
Yeah.
You never know who's gonna share that post. You never know who's gonna retweet something on Twitter. It's just all luck of the draw. But man, I'm telling you, if I truly wish I had a Reddit that I was that was easily accessible, that I could post on anything and be cool with it. So definitely do it. Just see what happens, man. Who knows? Especially right now, dude. And that was one thing that I also wanted to talk with you about too. I wanted to talk a little bit about the new Tarkov update, because I don't know shit about it. I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard it's been dog shit. I've heard there's been great stuff, but it also sucks. Like, why did we do that? Lay it on me. So what happened in this whole update?
So they added some new stuff, content wise.
Okay.
And there's a whole laundry list of problems with Tarkov right now.
Okay.
I'm sure you know that you play the game. It's probably like fun, but like you notice there's a lot of issues with it, right?
Yeah. Desync's been my worst one.
Oh my god, man. Desync is terrible.
Yeah, that's been my worst one.
That's been around since July 17. You know what I mean? Like it's been around forever.
Yeah.
And like it's getting to the point where like the veteran players are getting frustrated because like we don't know how to fix it. We're not fucking game developers. We're not fucking network designers.
Yeah.
We don't know how to fix it. We just want it fixed.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you look at a game like PUBG, I'm not sure how familiar you are with their history.
Oh, I have a deep connection with PUBG to a point. Hey, let me tell you this. I have not been playing Tarkov. I've been playing PUBG.
Okay, so you're familiar with its history.
Super familiar with it.
Okay,
yeah.
So the game fucking died because they didn't listen to their community.
Right. Yeah. Right.
They didn't fix their fucking issues.
Yeah, and their biggest one was desync.
Yeah,
without
desync,
question.
Cheaters, all that shit. The server. Yeah, and it's like it's almost like history has a strange way of repeating itself because it's the same kind of issues that's happening in Tarkov.
Right.
So like the content update for 12.7. So they added a new scav boss,
Okay.
Sanitar to Shoreline, which is super cool. I think they needed that to sort of like spice up Shoreline.
Snoreline, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing, bro. Like, you either ran into a bunch of people or you ran into no one at all.
Yeah, and
I
you
think
just
with the
ratted
scav
out.
boss, exactly. I
Yeah.
think with the scav boss is going to be a little bit more, action.
Right.
They added a new part to customs, which is insanely cool.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like, have you ever played customs? Like, or not have you ever, but like, have you played it quite a bit? Like,
Yeah. I know customs fairly well. That was actually the first map that everybody suggested whenever I first got on to learn because it's so linear, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's so linear, and like they ruined that. They were like, "Fuck that!" Like, so now it's like an open map. It's really cool. Like the whole thing is open.
Okay, cool.
It's definitely much needed. You know what I mean? Like that addition was much needed.
Right.
They added the new grenade launcher, which is kind of cool, but like super expensive. So like, people aren't going to use it that much.
Right.
And the biggest thing they added, which added a lot of controversy, there's like, like how they have like the injectable like stimulant drug shits, right?
Yes.
Bro,
I have heard about
one
this.
that decreased your damage, like how much you took, by 20%, to the point where you could get shot in your head with like a rifle round from like an AK-47,
right?
And it wouldn't fucking kill you,
dude.
Like just the forehead, like right in the forehead. Like, can you imagine getting shot in your forehead and just being like,
"Hey man, what's up?" Yeah.
Yo, it's bracking. Like, we're chilling.
And how much is that? Like, is that a flea market item, or can it be found through therapist?
So I don't think you could buy it from like therapists, but I think it's like a flea market in-game kind of thing. So they nerfed it. So they like changed it. It's 10% now. Yeah, I'm glad they did, because that was a stupid decision on their part. That was
everyone
so dumb.
was butthurt, huh?
Literally everyone. No one was behind it, I don't think. But I'm glad they listened to their community in that sense.
Yeah.
I just wish that, as opposed to like I'm cool with new content. It's always nice to see new shit, right?
Right.
But like, hey, can't shine a turd, all right? Like, that's, you got to fix the game. You know what I mean? Like, you have to fix the game. We're gonna have an issue. You know what I mean? They're literally putting a brand new radio system into like a 1998 like Ford Explorer.
So
like,
what do you suggest? What needs to get fixed first and foremost? Desync,
the
obviously.
100%.
Is that your biggest thing?
Absolutely. Desync is an issue. I think hit registration is an issue. I think the netcode could use a little bit of work. I'm not a network designer. I don't know like the very internals of bullshit, and I won't claim that I do.
Right.
I just think that they need to bring someone in that fucking knows what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
To take a look at shit and just be like, hey man, like, I think you can change this and change this.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? And like, that's a big one. Cheaters are still an issue, so they need to get a better anti-cheat, I think.
Yeah, cheaters have been a big issue for a hot minute, huh?
Yeah, man. Like, labs is basically just pointless at this point because people just go in and cheat.
God, it's the worst. I really enjoyed labs for a little bit, man.
Yeah, it's a fun map.
There was a point in time where we were running labs every night, and it would be like we'd have like 5 or 6 really fun games, and then from those 5 or 6, it would turn into 3 or 4 back to back to back of just like dudes that are moving at incredible speeds.
Yeah,
and one
shit.
Like, dude, it's nuts. So yeah, I mean, and every game's gonna have cheaters. It's really difficult to do something about that. But yeah, I'm definitely on board with the cheaters thing.
For sure. They recently did something that is like a step in the right direction, though. They added like a report function, so you can report people if they kill you. Like,
yeah, God,
how long did it take for that?
That's crazy, right?
It took 3 years to fucking add a button where you click it and click report player. How the fuck hard is that, bro? I'm not a coder. Like, I'm not a fucking software designer, bro. Like, I'm not a geologist, but I could probably figure that shit out. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could figure that out.
Right, yeah, that's fair, which is super fair.
In 3 years, at least. It might take me 3 years to do it, but I'm sure I could do it,
Yeah.
But, like, all jokes aside, I'm glad that, like, they're sort of stepping into it more. They're not, like, they're not taking a step back and taking a step forward, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But like, cheaters definitely got to get hammered. I think they need to stop worrying about like the real money trading and worry about the cheaters, because at the end of the day, the cheaters are the ones who are getting the money to sell to people.
Right.
So if you remove the cheaters, there's a lot less of a market for that real money trading.
True. Yeah.
They're super worried about this real money trading stuff, which
Yeah.
makes sense. They don't want people getting an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
But like, I would rather someone have 20 million, rubles that they bought on a site than have someone, kill me from across the map instantly from a headshot. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather them have a bunch of money than be able to kill me in like an unrealistic or unfair way.
I'm kind of with that too. I think I would so much rather that than just getting fucked. Like, because that's where the game becomes not fun. Like that's where you're like, dude, come on. Like makes just thinking about that makes me not want to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Like, we're at a point right now where like a lot of the players that have been playing for a while are just getting so burnt out because we've been dealing with the same problems for so long.
Right.
Like, nothing has changed, and like they're doing better. They're making like changes in a good way. But it's just like, it's so tiring. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I can imagine.
It's like fucking getting punched in the nutsack every day. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally how it feels, bro. I swear to God, it's like getting kicked in the dick every day. It's
all right,
terrible.
man. Let's fire up Tarkov. Perfect. Kick me in the dick.
Yeah,
let's fire
real,
it.
just let's get it out of the way early. Like, let's just get it done with. All right.
God, man. Yeah, I can imagine, especially the OGs, guys like you who've been playing this game before, well before the drops, well before anybody knew about it. Yeah, man, it's gotta suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta suck.
So I had a question for you.
Okay, what's up?
So I get this question a lot. I'm imagining you do too. I feel like any streamer with some success is gonna get this question.
Okay.
You'll have people come in and say, "Hey man, any tips for a new streamer?" Or like, "Hey man, do you have any tips on how to grow on Twitch?"
Right.
Or, "Hey man," like anything like that.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, what do you normally say to those people?
So my thing is, first and foremost, you can get. I've gotten that question so many times. It's become such a almost like a rehearsed show. And you've got just the real basic shit, which you don't need to come to me or to you guys like you or really anybody to know. It's that you have a set schedule, which whatever works with that. That to me is first and foremost. Have a set schedule, something that works with your life, no matter what you got going on, whatever your set schedule is. You're there every day. Yeah. Consistency was the number one thing that I saw that I saw a big change in my channel after. So like once I actually set a schedule, I noticed that there was more people popping in. The same people were coming in every day. So consistency for sure, scheduling for sure. Number 2 is deciding between 2 or 3 things. Normally it's 2. It's, are you good at a video game?
Yep. Or are you funny?
Or you're funny.
Or are you good looking? That's what it comes down to.
Or it comes to that mix of all 3, right? Are you funny? Yeah. Are you good? Are you sometimes good? Like I by no means say that I am good at any game whatsoever, but I'm a shithead and it's funny. So for me, I like to fall into the sometimes funny, sometimes good at a video game. Mix that in there. I'm somewhere in between, right? So for me, it's that, and then based off of that, based off of what category you kind of fall under is communicating with chat, because those are the people that are there to see you and to see who you are as a streamer, and also those are people who might want to stick around, who might want to see you grow, who might want to be a part of your community, and sometimes, man, your community turns into more than a community, man. It's almost like a brotherhood, like a family, right? For sure. So that's my thing, and I think there's some exceptions here and there. If you're the holy shit, this guy is so good at this game guy, you probably don't need to look at chat. Now granted, obviously it's going to help. I'm a big guy that subscribes to the fact that talking with chat is going to be your best bet. That's the way, important thing in my opinion. That's the way I am, without a question. That's the way I've based my channel is on communicating with the people who are watching, right? Yeah. That's what I want to do. I want to entertain. I want to make people laugh. I want to hang out. I want it to be like you're literally talking to a best friend or a really good friend.
100%.
But there is that massive side of people, massive side of viewership that loves the don't talk to me. I just want to watch you game.
Frag out.
Yeah,
I just want
to watch you pop. I mean, like, and this is no disrespect, but Shroud is an incredible example of that, of what we're talking about right now. Like, you don't watch Shroud for his personality, man. Like, that's not what you're watching him for. You're watching him to go, this guy is cheating without a doubt. There is no way he is not. He is so good. It's crazy. So, those are the initial steps. Like, those are things that I think need to be done, need to be in your mind right off the rip. And then another thing for me personally too, and again, this is a personal preference. I will not, no questions asked, I will not even entertain the thought of watching a streamer who doesn't have a camera. I will not do it. I'm not going to watch a no cam streamer because that's not who I am. I'm somebody that when I pop into their stream, I want to get to know you.
Personality.
Yeah, I want to get to know you, man. And I don't get to know you if I don't see who you are, right? Like, so that for me, those for me are the biggest ones, is scheduling, staying consistent, finding your lane, talking with chat or not, depending on which lane you go, and then having a camera. Those are my, without question, things that I think have to be done. And I know that tons of people have made it doing other things anyways. But for me, that's what I look for whenever it comes to streaming and to starting out. So, and utilizing, I mean, I guess you could toss in utilizing your social media as much as possible too. You know, even if you're tweeting to yourself, at least you're tweeting, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, someone might see that one tweet somehow, and that's all that matters.
Dude, and there's that luck of the draw, man. Who knows? You really just never know. What do you tell people? Are you kind of on that same boat?
I have some similar stuff that I hit. One, consistency. Like, it doesn't matter if you are streaming 3 hours a day or 12 hours a day or whatever it is, just stream at the same times every single day and be there every time you say you're going to be there. If you're 15 minutes late, let people know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be, it's like a job. It's a job.
It is. Yeah.
And so like you don't fucking just walk into work like, hey,
an hour late.
You don't just do that. You don't just like, oh, you know what? I don't really feel like coming into work today. Like, that's just not how it works. You know what I mean? You gotta kind of like be communicative.
Right.
So that's, and I say that even though I'm the fucking worst at
Same. That's why I laughed. I was like, bro, I'm that guy though. I'm that guy. I'll tweet back, hey, by the way, I'm at the bar. Like, I started drinking or whatever. I'll be back soon. Like, I'm
the worst with that shit. Yeah, it's gotten to the point where like chat is like, 'cause like I say this shit, I'm like, I'll be like, oh, sorry guys, my goldfish drowned. Or like, oh, I fell down like 10 flights of stairs. Like, you know, like just like stupid bullshit.
Just literally every
like,
time.
I wonder how your goldfish is today. Like, it's just like, okay, dude.
Every
like,
time I'm late, man, I show up and they've added a bunch, all of like my mods and people that handle all my emotes. They've all added all of these different "you're late" emotes. And so right when I fire it up, or even before I fire it up, my chat will just be filled with late with a late emote, late with like, and I'll be like, fuck, man, I know, bro, I know.
I get it.
Yeah, I got it, bro. I'm a shithead.
Yeah, I think that's the number one. I think you nailed it right there. That's the number one. I think number two is finding a game that you are good enough at that you can play the game and not be distracted by chat, in the sense that like you could mindlessly talk to chat while you play the game.
Right. Okay.
Or there's downtime in the game where you can always be quick to talk to chat. You know what I mean?
That's a favorite thing for me, is the downtime games. That way you can, you know, if you're like super focused, you can, you know that here in a couple minutes or whatever it may be, that streamer will be able to look over and catch up.
Exactly. So like that's why I think like BRs blew up. Because like there's the action and then there's the downtime. There's the action and the downtime. It's like a perfect mixture of those two.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it blew up in like the Twitch world.
Right.
That's my number two, I think. Number three, you're not, like we said, you're not gonna get successful on Twitch unless you fucking get super lucky. So I think you need to work on networking. You got to work on your socials. You got to work on something other than Twitch. That is easier to grow on, and bring it over to Twitch.
Right. I'm 100% with that.
Whether that's, you know, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Or even just networking.
And I want to say this too, because there is that word networking can come across a lot of different ways, and a lot
some
of
people might think it's a leechy way.
Dude, yeah, some of them, networking can sometimes have a negative connotation, which it is because of the people who network the shitty way. right?
Yeah,
The
100%.
the people who are just like literally, like you said, just leeching, just being like, hey
Yeah.
man, like, you know, like, but again, and you know, the thing that sucks is that it is a very 2020 thing and a very in the now thing is, dude, that works.
It does.
Dude, it works, and it's people built their careers off of it. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it sucks, but that's the way of the world, man. That's the way things are. But I think when you talk about networking, I'll let you get back to it. Is that, you know, I think that there's a right way to do it, and there's without question a wrong way to do it. And if you're like, oh man, I don't know if this is right, if this is the right way to go about it, it's probably not the right way to go about it.
Yeah, 100%. If you got a bad feeling, cut that shit. Don't do it.
That's not the way to go about it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll say that the way I network, like you said, like the way I kind of handle myself and like the way I want my chat to be is like talking to a friend. Like, I'm gonna talk shit about you to your face. I'm gonna bullshit. Like, we're fucking around. You know what I mean? Like, we're having fun. That's how I talk to my friends. So I want to be able to talk to you.
And then if something bad goes wrong in somebody's life, bro, I'm right there. Like, I got 100%. You. Like, what?
Exactly.
Like every time something ever bad has gone wrong with anybody that's been around in my channel for a long time, I'm like, dude, what can I do? Like, is there anything that I can do? Like, I know, 100%. Dude, that fucking sucks, man. What can I do?
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I want to be there for the people that matter to me, and I'm gonna bullshit with you. Like, I'm gonna call you a dumbass as I'm trying to help you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's
the kind of personality I have.
Yeah.
And so like that reflects into my networking.
Right.
I'm a genuine dude at all times. Like
right.
at the end of the day, I'm not ashamed to be myself. I'm happy with myself.
Right.
And so like that reflects into my networking. Like, if you don't want to work with me, or if you don't want to like network or play games, I'm not gonna force you, bro. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, if I see someone that I really like their content, or I really like how they play, or like, you know, I think we would like make good content together, I'll say what's up.
Yeah.
You know, I'll gesture the idea. Like, we'll sort of like hang out or whatever it is. And like, I'm only gonna network with you if I like you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That is
we gotta have to have that like genuine connection.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna be like fake about shit
to force it. Right.
Exactly. I'm 100% upfront with how I feel about shit.
Right.
So like, I can't, you know, all in my heart be like, yeah, go follow this dude. Because like every time someone raids my chat or raids my stream, I like to shout him out and show him some love. I can't, in my heart of hearts, be like, go follow this dude. He is a shitty ass person. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I can't do it.
That's such a hard thing to do, man, because of the world that we're in, and because of the way that things work, especially on Twitch, is that, you know, I'm not gonna name any names, but I've played with people in the past where yes, they're way bigger than me, and it makes sense because, you know, I see an increase in viewership, an increase in chatters, whatever it may be, when playing with that person. But if while I'm playing with that person, I'm not having a good time and it's not fun, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And then when people are like, man, why don't you play with so and so? Like, why aren't you doing that? Like, I'm like, dude, that's not. I would rather just and that's why you see I don't play with a lot of people. Like, I only play with a select few of people randomly, and that's because of the past that I've had where I like, listen, man, like if I like this person, I will without a doubt play with them. But if I
100%.
don't, man, it's no harm, no foul. Some people's personalities just don't connect, right?
Yeah,
and that's always going to be a thing. And so for me, if I don't want to do that, I'm not gonna fucking do it. I'm not gonna put myself through a shitty time just to look better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Unless, hey, what I will say, sometimes you got to make sacrifices if this is your career. If fucking Alinity hits me up and she wants to do some duos, bro, hey, Amaranth, come on, we're doing it. You're like, bro, I don't care. Listen, I will suck it up for a stream. You know what I'm saying? Listen. Come on, bro.
Hey, listen. I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll hit up Alinity for you or something, man. We'll see if we can get you playing some games.
All right, you're the real MVP for that one. But yeah, man, you just gotta be a genuine dude. I think that like people will notice that, like if you're a genuine dude.
Yeah, I'm on board with that, and people also notice if you're not.
Yeah, 100%.
And they'll roll through, man. That's the funny thing about this, man, is you can really tell who's there and who's not, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You just gotta be happy with yourself at the end of the day, right? Like, you gotta work on yourself before you could be, you know, happy with anyone else.
That's super true, man.
You know, as hallmark as that sounds.
No, but it is the truth.
For sure.
Well, listen, man. I'm so grateful to have you on the podcast. I know this is your first one, and it makes me so happy that you're here. It was super
Yes,
cool.
sir.
It was super cool to hear the stories and to especially hear your opinions. I think that's what makes podcasting so great is to being able to express your opinions to really anybody. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we do that in streaming every day, but it's super cool to talk about real specific subjects and go deep into it. I think it's super rad.
100%.
Listen, man, where can everybody find you at? Where are you at on social media? Where are you at on Twitch? We talk about all this. Where are you at?
So on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/EFNCY. That's EFNCY. On Twitter and Instagram, it's FNC TV. So it's EFNCY TV. It's on both Twitter and Instagram.
Where's that Reddit page?
I don't even fucking have a Reddit page.
God
It's like
damn it.
Listen, man, I gotta work on it. All right.
All right. Well, I got faith in you working on it. Okay.
All right.
And
Deal. I'll work on it.
there'll obviously be links for all of your shit down in the description below. Of course, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcast or on Spotify, you can also check it out there. It'll be in the descriptions as well. And listen, man, again, dude, I'm very appreciative. Thanks for coming through. It does mean a lot to me, and we'll talk very soon.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, bro. Thanks, everybody.